AMC has recently put out a whole bunch of new pictures from the upcoming spin-off show from The Walking Dead franchise featuring Daryl Dixon. Norman Reedus is coming back on screen once again as the zombie-slaying hero. Not just that, but in recent interviews, the star talks about how the upcoming show is a reset and not just a continuation. Let's dive deeper into it, starting with new images from the show. The Walking Dead recently ended with an 11-season-long reign and being one of the most popular shows on AMC that showed off the adventures of a bunch of beloved survivors during the zombie apocalypse. One of the show's best anti-heroes, Daryl Dixon, quickly became a favorite. The new show featuring Daryl will have David Zaslav as its showrunner and is only one of many spin-offs from the franchise currently being worked on. The show is set after the original show's conclusion. The offshoot led by Reedus finds the fan-favorite character all the way across the Atlantic in France, where the world has gone to an entirely new level of insane. Some pictures from the upcoming series featuring the character have been put out recently by Entertainment Weekly, with Daryl looking as much the part as he did at the ending of The Walking Dead, where he was last seen riding off into the horizon on his motorcycle. According to EW, the show will tell us how the character ends up in France, and that the story will connect to the mid-credits scene we saw in the finale of The Walking Dead, World Beyond. As we've seen, a scientist in an abandoned lab in France gets shot after watching videos of Dr. Edwin Jenner from Season 1 about the tests carried out on walkers. Not just that, but according to the star, the spin-off is going to be vastly different from the original show. Moving on to a different story. This time, not only will the story be different, but the show is going to have different lighting, tone, and sound, just overall a completely different vibe, at least according to the actor. Along with Reedus, the show stars many other actors, such as Clemens Posey from The Essex Serpent and Chernobyl's Adam Nagaitis. Posey is going to be playing Isabel, who's a part of the progressive religious group that Daryl is going to be in France. On the other hand, Nagaitis will play a displaced Brit called Quinn, an influential black market person who owns an underground nightclub in post-apocalyptic France. Daryl became one of the show's most beloved characters soon after he came on as a possible villain in the first season. The actor's performance has often been loved for his humor, heroism, and incredible survival skills. While there aren't any exact details about the show out yet, or when the show's going to debut, many fans are desperately waiting for it, and the show is no doubt going to bring even more character development for the character and a lot more zombie fighting action. The franchise has made a lot of adaptations, such as games, comics, web series, and previous spin-offs that include Fear the Walking Dead, Walking Dead: The World Beyond, and the much more recent Tales of the Walking Dead. They're working on multiple character-related spin-offs now, and the upcoming one featuring Daryl is just one of them. Lastly, one of Reedus' best performances. It has recently been hinted that this time, the character will fight against much faster zombies. They're a variant of the original infection we saw in The World Beyond. Daryl is still one of the most popular characters from the franchise all the way from its start. He'll undoubtedly bring in a large audience for the spin-off, especially since fans are eating up adaptations from it as fast as AMC can make them. The actor's performance in the show put him on the map that led him into much more prominent roles in both film and TV, such as his voiceover in the Angry Birds film and his role in Alien Invasion SUM-1. While the world of The Walking Dead is infinitely growing, fans are much more intrigued about the fate of their favorite character after the original show's conclusion. While the upcoming Daryl Dixon spin-off is still in the works, fans can watch the final 7 episodes of the original show on AMC, especially since it will give us a much better understanding of what to expect from the character in the future. Norman Reedus calls The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon a reset. Coming up are hints from the series finale. The series finale for The Walking Dead showed off Daryl Dixon on his motorcycle as he rode off into the distance. We don't really know where he's going, but we do know for a fact where he ends up. But that's only because the creators revealed that he's going to be in France in the upcoming spin-off called The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. The spin-off story will likely be connected to the mid-credits scene in one way or another from the finale of The Walking Dead World Beyond. The ending showed off a scientist from an abandoned lab in France who was shot after finding some videos from Dr. Edwin Jenner from Season 1 of the original show. Not just that, but the president of AMC, Dan McDermott, recently told EW that the upcoming spin-off would follow Daryl's story as he wakes up to find himself in Europe and tries to figure out what happened. Back in September, the show's star Norman Reedus gave some information about the upcoming show while it was still in pre-production. The actor said that we'd have to forget everything we know about the franchise for the spin-off. According to Reedus, the show will be very different, with a completely different story, characters, tone, light, and even soundtracks. This time, the team is going for a completely different vibe for the show. Next up, the spin-off during pre-production. But that was back when when the show was still in pre-production. Now that it's officially being produced, what can the actor say about it? Now that the cameras are rolling once again, surely the actor has more details about the character he's been playing for a decade, but this time in a completely new continent. In a recent interview with EW, the actor said they're 3 weeks into it, and up till that point, it's going amazing up until that point. All the people involved in making it are super excited about the work they're creating. Not just that, but the scale is truly epic. The tone is very different and much better, and the show is much moodier. He also says that the spin-off in Europe gives them many more opportunities to add some history to the story. Even the walls and the sound of it all around the characters are full of history. The spin-off has everything fans love and want from the show, but it's placed in a completely different dimension this time. While the show's title may still have The Walking Dead, the actor says that the story isn't just a continuation, but a reset. After doing a show for 12 years, all of them have learned a lot and had to go down many roads to deal with such a huge cast, but they don't have that problem this time. It's a chance to start fresh for them, along with the things they loved from the original show and much more. Additionally, adapting to new environments. While the actor's character, Daryl, may be trying to adapt to his new environment, the actor has been doing the same, as he's been trying to get used to how weird shooting a show from the franchise across the Atlantic has been. He says that while it may be weird, that's just the story, in an attempt to connect himself to his character. The character will be surrounded by people speaking in French the entire time, and a huge chunk of the story is just him figuring out what's good and bad, if he's about to get in a fight, or if he's come across new friends. Daryl will have to read lips that talk in a language he doesn't understand, along with figuring out people's motives through their body language. It might be confusing for him, but he figures out how to get to the next step. All of it is part of the story, which might be weird, but that's what they're going for, and it's doing wonders. Finally, some familiar faces. But the actor also has some familiar faces around him, such as the executive producer and director from the original show, Greg Nicotero, who spent time in France as they work on the new show. Reedus says that Greg's a storyteller who knows how to find the perfect in-between moments that can make or break the show's tone. Not just that, but he's also great at bobbing, weaving, and finding all of those things. He's got a great history with the show, and knows his characters so well that he's an asset. The actor was energetic as he talked about the show and his character. He said that he couldn't be happier despite them just starting. It's what he always wanted to do, and he's super excited for people to see it because it's just that good. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts about the upcoming show? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.
The problem, as I see it, is that the samples we have simply aren't fresh. There's just too many variables.
All right, great. I'll lead. You mind if I go with Espinosa? We make it good.
Come here.
I want to know more about these variant cohorts.